Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dave, and today I'm going to take you around the Citroen C1 and tell you exactly what is wrong with it. Okay, so starting at the front, we can see that the bumper seems to be hanging off a little bit on both sides. It's also covered in what I can only describe as a white gloss paint of some description. I'm not quite sure how that's got there, but whatever, it's an old car. Now the bumper's been popped out because the previous owner, who is actually a family member, told me that it was actually reversed into by a taxi while she was at work one day. But of course didn't get the details, so it's been popped out at both sides. I don't see that as being too much of an issue, but that wing does need replacing. Also, looking at the bonnet, I'm not sure how it'll come up on camera, but you can see that it's had some stone chip repairs over the years with like a repair pen type thing. But if we take a look back, and this part is the worst part, you can see the shade difference between the wing here and the bonnet here. So that bonnet is beyond repair. That's going to need taking right back to the metal and respraying. Other than that, the front of the car, sort of the windows, the wipers, all that sort of good stuff, that seems to work just fine. It is, however, a poverty spec model, and there's no fog lights or daytime running lights or anything like that, so I think we may have to take care of that. There are various spots over the car where we have some lack appeal. Now these cars, you know, as any owner will tell you, are prone to lack appeal, especially here and on the roof. But the roof, touching wood, does seem to be fine. So moving around to the side of the car then, the wheels are just standard steel wheels, but they do have good tyres on. They were replaced not long back. The doors appear to be in reasonable condition. I mean, apart from the usual sort of stone chips and dents on the doors that you get on cars this age, you know, usual age-related marks. And then coming back a little bit further, rear wheel, same sketch as all the others really. Steel wheels, wheel trims, and brand new tyres. This car does have the usual leaks. It does tend to leak from these rear windows and the centre light. Happens all the time. I will take care of that. Again though, bit of a poverty spec. It's just got the bare legal minimum that is absolutely required to get a car on the road, and that's your lot. So moving around to the other side then, the fuel filler cap is disgusting. Look at that. It's not as bad as I've seen in the past, but that's pretty minging. And there's also quite a lot of dirt down in the corners here. Look at all that. That is manky. Okay, going on to the passenger side, we can see there's a little bit of damage on the door, just there, all up and down. So that, I think, is going to need a repaint, because that black bit, apologies for the autofocus, that black bit is a bit of a mess. The rest of the door, again, general condition that you'd expect for the car of this age. But this wing mirror, it's got a slightly different problem. Full of stone chips. Like this one here, for example. That's pretty bad. So that'll need a repaint as well. Okay, looking in the engine bay. The battery is a replacement battery to lie on one, it's not a factory one. I have tested it on the voltmeter. It's holding a good 12.5 volts, and when it's running it's charging up to about 14.6, so that's all good there. Other than that, it's generally mechanically quite sound. Like I said, this has been in the family for a little while now, a couple of years now, so I've looked after this, and it is a sound running engine. We did at one point have a problem with one of the coil packs. I swapped the coils around, the problem moved with it. It was obvious coil pack, so that was changed, no problems. It does weep a little bit of oil at this end, but I think that's just age related type stuff. It is full of spider webs in here though. Not a fan of that, that's going to have to go. Okay, now we come to the inside, and this is where things get nasty. These seats are in quite a poor condition. The actual material itself is really good, but they are disgusting. looking at the driver's steering wheel, you can see all the makeup marks and things like that that my niece has had when she was owning the car. She's, bless her, she's tried with things like air fresheners all the way around the place. It's already got a dash cam, I installed that. No glove box door, and it is just nasty. Needs a new gearbox gator. This one has completely given up the ghost. It's not happening anymore. And then if we move to the back, and the bloody seat works, there we go. You can see the back is in absolutely the same condition. It is quite nasty in here. I've definitely seen better cars. I've certainly seen worse. Everything is in reasonable condition. It's just dirty. The only breakage that I've seemed to have seen, again, a common problem, this snaps a lot. There are videos on YouTube to explain how to fix that. So as a result, that's fallen off. I mean, that's probably going to come off and get painted anyway, so that's not really a big deal for me. Let's go have a look in the boot. Okay, so now we're in the boot and we can see the usual problems here. Okay, so this is the actual parcel shelf. Look at the absolute state of that. This parcel shelf hasn't actually been attached to the back of the car where it should be, so it's been sat in the boot. And as it's been raining, the boot's been getting wet and it's started to rot. But it all appears fairly solid. So I think that might be rescuable. Having a look in the actual boot itself though, again with the rest of the car, it is in very much the same condition. However, that said, the spare wheel in here, although it's there, it might as well not be. That's not roadworthy. That is absolutely pathetic. Wheels, not a problem though. I do have a plan for those, and more will become apparent. You can see just at the bottom here where the rubber bungers, that's quite wet. So that leads me to believe that as it's been raining over the past sort of week or so, rain's been getting in. So I think I may have to do the hose pipe test and investigate where that's actually coming from. I can't actually see any signs of any water dripping from behind the lights. Oh, look, another air freshener. There's only so much you can polish a turd. I can't actually see any water ingress signs. However, that's not to say that it's not actually leaking, because there's usually a decent seal behind those, but that seal fails over time and then it gets siliconed. And as you can see there's neither a seal nor any silicone. That was probably a big culprit for it. So, as you can see, it's not the tidiest of C1s in the world. It does have some issues that we're going to go through, and that's going to be our biggest project on this channel at the moment. I do have some ideas for it. I do have some spare parts for it already, so I'm hitting the ground running with this one, and I'm quite excited to get on with it. The good parts about this car though, it does have a new back box on it, so that's quite cool. That's already something I don't have to worry about. It's got 4 brand new tyres on it. For now, they'll do. I do have an idea about some alloy wheels for this car, and it has, within the last sort of 15,000 miles-ish, had a new clutch. So a common problem with these cars, especially the earlier generations that have the smaller clutch plates, that's something that I don't have to deal with, because I'll be honest, clutch might be a little bit beyond me. I've never done one. That said though, it's going to be a great project. I'm looking forward to this. I hope you look forward to it too, and I hope you have a great time. I'll see you in the next video.